Hey, what am I doing? I'm going fishing. I'm going to do some drifting. You don't know about drifting? Well, stick around and I'll tell you a little bit about drifting and give you 3 great rigs for drifting for catfish. Well, drifting is just that. Drifting down the river, usually less than half a mile an hour, and sometimes a drift sock is needed to make sure your speed stays slow. Then you drag or drift your baits behind the boat and sit back and relax and wait for that bite. All right, I told you I'm going to give you the lowdown on 3 great rigs for drifting. The first rig is going to be the Santee Cooper rig. Now the Santee Cooper rig actually uses a float. So this is going to be cast out behind your boat, and as you drift along, you're going to be pulling this rig, which is actually on the bottom, or at least the sinker is, while a float suspends your bait a little bit up off the bottom of the water, hopefully putting it right in the face of a catfish nearby as you go along. So that is the Santee Cooper rig, used by millions of people all over the world. It's one of the top rigs out there. So highly recommend that rig. Next, we have the knocker rig. Now the knocker rig is a very simple rig. It's just a sinker running down your leader line straight to the hook. There you go. It's just slid straight down, and as it goes down and bumps into that hook, that's why it's called a knocker rig, because it makes that sound. Now you cast this out, and as you drift along, it just drags on the bottom with your bait basically suspended slightly up off the bottom as it drifts and drags along. It's not as high. It's obviously not going to float in the water to the degree that you're going to get with that Santee Cooper rig, but it is going to come off the bottom a little bit as your sinker drags it along through the current down there. It's going to come up just a bit. And again, it's another great rig as you drift along. And again, this technique is also called dragging when it's on the bottom of the water like this. Now, the next rig we have is a Carolina rig. And the Carolina rigs have been used for many, many years by tons of people. And again, it's a fantastic rig for drifting and dragging. Yep, it too is a dragging bait that sits on the bottom. It's hooked a little differently, or rigged a little differently, obviously, than the knocker rig. Now this has the sinker up above the barrel swivel on the upside of your main line, and we recommend you put a bead on there as it comes down and hits right where your barrel swivel is going to be. Then from there you run your leader line down to your hook, and there you go, you're set. Again, cast it out, drift along, and letting it drag, and hopefully you're coming across some catfish as you cover more ground while you're moving. You have a great opportunity to come across a larger number of fish. Now, bonuses to the knocker rig and the Carolina rig is these baits can also be suspended at a much higher level by just dropping them over the side, letting them hit the bottom, reeling them up a little bit to wherever you wish them to be in the fish column, and then you start your drift. There you go. And so that changes the level. So if you look on your graph or your fish finder tells you that those fish are in a different column level than what you thought they were going to be, primarily maybe on the bottom, then you can adjust that height using those 2 rigs to get them up higher in that fish column where you want them to be. So there you go, folks. That's the basic, simple rundown on drifting and dragging your baits or suspending them while you drift. It's very simple, very easy idea and method. Catches tons of fish, and it gives you another way to fish if suspending is not working for you. Get out there and give it a try. Guys, have fun out there on the water. Be safe. Be sure to like this episode. Give us a thumbs up. Join our family as well, and hit that notification button so you don't miss an episode. We'll see you soon out on the water.